All right, welcome everybody for the PCDC ACC League. I am your host, Senna Stuffmeal. I'll be doing your directing and commentary today. Let's take a quick look here at the track. Our 19 drivers today are going to be tackling. So today we're at the legendary Mount Panorama Circuit in New South Wales in Australia. The track features 23 turns, is about 6.213 kilometers long or 3.861 miles long. A lot of tricky sections with the S section, the downhill S section, things like the cutting going uphill, and then that long back straight there, heading into a big braking zone that'll really test our drivers today. The race format for today is gonna be a 110-minute practice that is coming to an end now. Our drivers should be in the driver's briefing with about 4 minutes to go. Then there'll be a 15-minute qualifying session, so not a lot of time for our drivers to get their time in, so they really gotta make their laps count. Then it'll be a 60-minute race, so a normal sprint race for our league. The race will have one mandatory pit stop, where the tires are mandatory and refueling is disabled. So this means our drivers have to take the full fuel load for the entire race in their car, and then we'll have to forcibly change their tires at the pit stop. We will also have a rolling start. So obviously today at Bathurst here, and let's take a look here at the calendar. So it's the 6th race of the season. The season is nearly coming to an end, which will be next week. Obviously today a 60-minute race, and then next week to round off the championship, we'll have a 90-minute race at Kyalami, which personally I'm looking really forward to. Kyalami, one of those really underrated tracks. I've only come to know it now that ACC integrated it, because not a lot of games actually feature this track. So I'm also looking really forward to that one. But obviously, let's focus on Bathurst first, which is also a very nice track to drive on, and we'll really test the drivers here. Before we get into qualifying, let's take a quick look at the championship standings. So in the championship standings, we can see at the top there Vincent Erbrich with 390 points. Right behind him, Marcus Lawrence with 380. Those guys have been battling all season long. Unfortunately, today, I think both of them are going to be absent, which does mean that it'll be a very close battle, the last race. So that's going to be good to see. Good to see that they can keep it close. This does, however, mean that anyone potentially, if we look at P3 and P4 or in the championship standings, Rojovic and Wansink, they are less than 100 points behind our first and second place there. So if they get a win today, that could possibly put them in a real good position to snatch the championship here at the end. That's going to be really interesting to see. Christian Deploy then in 5th with 296 points, just outside of that. Well, still inside of 100 point range, but we'll have to perform really well to get that championship. Domi Person, 278 points. Ruben van Hudding, 231. Thomas Arendsman, 230. Then Vozarik with 211. Then Justin Dijkstra still performing really, really well in the AM category. I'm sure we'll see him move up into the Pro Am category for next season. But he's looking to round off that championship in the AM category. And then Layson in 11th, De Knecht in 12th. Then let's move on. In 13th, we have Peter Parnell with 149 points. Sam Fidesco with 143. Hila with 140. Wang with 137. Wall with 133. 131 for Van Laar. Hill with 121. So if we look at this, Justin Dijkstra has a pretty strong lead over the rest of the AM category. But looking at this, like the second and third place in the championship is still up for grabs for any of these guys here. One good result and I could see him shoot up and even take the championship. So everything to play for here. Then we have Pettit in 20th, Fonseca 21st, 22nd Chmielewski, Venter in 23rd, Valkenburg in 24th. Then we have Venter again, which is gonna be, let me take a quick look here. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a mistake, but doesn't matter too much. Davenport in 26th, Fonseca 27th, Levente 28th, Zach 29th, Young 30th, Reeve 31st, Friedrich in 32nd, Ryan Daniels in 33rd, Bunty in 34th, Preville in 35th, and Smelt in 36th. So that's going to be interesting to see. With that all out of the way, we are going to be ready, as you heard in the background maybe. They are waving the green flag for qualifying, so let's go get straight into it. There we go. So our drivers heading out, 15 minutes for their qualifying laps. It'll be really interesting to see, I think. Take a look at the... Is that Wansink? Yes, it is. So Jordan Wansink here. Good result today. Could see him move up into the lead of the championship, so a lot to play for here. Bit of a smaller grid today. Not everyone is brave enough to tame the mountain, so yeah, interesting to see because the Honda is pretty strong here at Bathurst. So if anything to go by, Wansink also recently did a endurance here, which I myself was a part of, and yeah, the Honda really strong at this track. So if he can bring out the same performance as in the endurance race, then he'll have a really good shot at winning the race here. So let's just, I think let's just follow Wansink around here for the first lap out, since he is quite a bit ahead of the field, and obviously no one wants to see outlap cars, but we can cycle through a couple of them here. So, Masachila here, also looking really good here in the Porsche, in the AM category, but I think in practice he was looking pretty decent pace-wise, so see what he can pull out in practice, or in qualifying, I should say. See a little bit of a train forming here. Everyone trying to bring their tires up to pressure, up to temperature. Jordan Wansink here has started his flying lap. So coming down a long back straight uphill. It's deceiving. It doesn't look that steep, but my god, the game really doesn't translate that well. Up into Quarry Bend. Really gotta get the line right through there as he hits a little bit of a curb, so he'll lose a tiny amount of time there. Then up into the cutting. Tricky corner as well. But a lot of traction out of there. Then we go up to a really fast section of the track here. Griffin's Mount, then Reed Park. And then this long swinging left-hander, Stillman Park, into McPhillamy Park. Then up to Skyline, a really technical section coming up here. The S's downhill, you gotta lightly tap the brakes, then get back on the throttle to straighten your car out. But manages to do well, looking like a fairly clean lap here as he comes through Forest Elbow. Down the back straight, looking tidy. Now that really long back straight here, Conrad. Down into the chase. Let's see if we can get his braking right. The Honda can get up to speeds of, oh man, I think it was 285 kilometers an hour, something like that. They're running a low downforce setup, but yeah, looking really good here, nice and tidy. Let's see here. what the pace is going to be set at here today by Wansink as he comes through the last corner. 2:01.8, so not looking bad there, and we'll see if anyone can better that. Yeah, here are some people coming down the hill. Lace on here in front of Adam Norton. Adam Norton messes up the lap there. Falkenberg puts a lap in. Here, Lace on running a bit wide, I think, out of that last corner. A bit wide on the entry. That's a 2:04.0. So far, Falkenberg in second there, 2 seconds off of Jordan Wansink. Peter Parnell also getting a lap in fourth at the moment, 2.4 seconds off. Then Dijkstra, then Norton. So again, Dijkstra looking fairly good here today. But let's actually follow Wansink around here because the second lap out. Usually the second lap is better here on ACC. The tires are a bit in the better range there. Oh, a bit too hot into the S's there for Jordan Wansink, which sees him lose about half a second there. That he was up on the Delta, so that would have been a low 2:01 if he would have kept that together. Another look here at someone else improving. Peter Parnell is very much comfortable with Bathurst. Again, a track he knows and has driven many times. So he'll be looking to put in a good performance here. If he can stay out of trouble in the first 3 corners and laps, then he's looking at a good result here. Currently about half a second to 0.6 up. Take a quick look here at Falkenberg, who is almost a second up on his Delta, which won't see him move up into first, but will break himself clear of the guys behind like Lason and Rojovic. So looking good here, coming around the last corner. Looking neat and tidy, about 0.8 there. There we go, 1.2 seconds off of the lead. Only 8 minutes remaining, so a bit over half of the qualifying time remaining, but yeah, it's tricky here. Obviously, an outlap is going to be probably around 2 minutes 10, something like that. 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes 15, so really long laps here at Bathurst. And meanwhile, someone else getting in time in Domi Person here. 2.9 seconds off of the lead there. So it is showing that Bathurst is, for a lot of people, a tricky track. We already see some debris there of I think some kind of marker there. But yeah, you do see as the field is quite spread apart here during qualifying. That Bathurst isn't a track where everyone can really shine and really can get everything out of their car, because obviously most of it is just bringing the car around the track cleanly here instead of just going for all-out pace. But again here, Samuel Falkenberg about 0.8 up. I don't know if he can find 0.4 in the last sector here. Now let's get a little bit of an onboard glimpse here as he goes down into the chase. Not looking too bad. Could have been a bit closer to that apex, but looking neat and tidy. 1 second up now. If he gets the braking absolutely right here and the turn in, which he overshoots, yeah, that's gonna lose him a little bit of time here, but only 0.3 behind Wansink here, so not looking bad. And meanwhile here, Peter Parnell with a 2:02.8, which puts him within a second of the leader here, so really well done from Peter Parnell there. Bozarek as well coming across the line here, only 1 second behind our leader. 6 minutes to go here. things are tightening up, so I might have been a bit wrong. A lot of people now towards the end here are actually putting in better laps, so good to see. So, Martijn de Knecht here should be on a flying lap now, but seems to be struggling a little bit here on Bathurst. Not having the best of times at the moment. About 7 seconds behind the leader. We'll have to see his pace improve quite a bit here to be able to get inside the top 10 here today. Another person here, Mats Anderson. Second race with PCDC here on ACC. Looking to improve his lap by about a second at the moment, so has a slower car in front of him, which probably hopes isn't going to hold him up here, but manages to navigate his way well through the S's. Then down to Forest Elbow. Let's see if he can get the exit there. Ooh, big crash there for Mats Anderson. Does slow the car down there, but oh man, just gets a bit loose there on down into the Forest Elbow. Just a bit too hot in there, and messes up that lap. That could have easily seen him move up 4 or even 5 positions there that lap. And meanwhile, though, very notable here, Justin Dijkstra, our leader in the AM Championship, who is looking ready to go to Pro-Am for next season. Maybe even this season. Again, putting in a decent performance here in 5th. I mean, decent, really good for the AM category. So there is that significant gap there. We do see Hila as well, with only 1.2 seconds off, so really well done there for Hila. You see, I don't think Jordan Wansink is improving anymore. With 3 minutes to go, he has 2 more laps here. But yeah, Justin Dijkstra looking pretty strong again. At the moment, no one really improving anymore. That's interesting. Yeah, Justin Dijkstra just completely loses it in the S's there, and again, qualifying is one thing. Putting that one fast lap in, it's a completely different thing than spending 60 minutes lapping this track. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that whatever the grid lines up as, we're gonna see a totally different outcome today. I mean, that's very likely that we'll see a totally different outcome from the qualifying positions. It's obviously a Bathurst, one little mistake and you're in the wall. There's no real room for error, except here, Conrad straight down into the chase. I think that's the only real part on the track where you have a bit of playroom. But even then, Justin Dijkstra tapping the wall there. Here, look at Peter Parnell, who's equaling his lap. Not necessarily faster at the moment, but if you can squeeze something out here. But yeah, I've heard from Peter that he's starting to enjoy the league racing a bit more, and obviously it is showing here, and again, track that he's comfortable with, so ooh, big tap on the wall there, but still somehow is equaling his time, so definitely time to find for Parnell here. He just has to hook that lap up and it'll be right within that second of the leader. Let's see another big improvement here. Lucas Rogovic, as he comes across the line, gonna put himself up into third. So he's just gonna beat by 500s. He's gonna beat Parnell there. See if Parnell has a response for him. Some others improving. Michael Castro here, coming out of forced elbow, seems to have gotten forced elbow a bit wrong here because he's lost all his time. Again, go on board again here with Mats Linam Anderson. He'll be looking to improve his time. It does seem that Jordan Wansink has his time secured. I'd be very surprised if we see anyone beat the 2017 here today. Obviously, drivers like Erbrich and Lawrence aren't here to challenge that time. They've been doing some Imola endurance racing today, so Mats here is gonna lose a little bit of time through the chase there, actually about half a second. Peter Parnell doesn't seem to be improving. Linam Anderson loses almost all of his time there in that last section, which is a shame to see because he was about 1 second up. But he's gonna pull into the escape road here, and he will most likely start in 9th. Only real improvement I'm seeing so far here. Masichila. Half a second up. Oh, really good in the braking there. Really nice through the chase. Let's see. Comes up to the braking zone here. Let's see if he can hook it up. Because this might see him move up quite a bit. Oh yeah, this is gonna move him up in the third there for Masichila. So really well done there at the death of qualifying. And with a couple of people still that have to come across the line there. Okay, this will see our qualifying rounded off. So we will take a small break, and then we will come back at you with the full grid rundown, and obviously then we will get straight into the race. So we will see you in 5. So welcome back everybody to PCDC ACC League here. I'll be coming to you with the full grid rundown here, and let's just get straight into it. So Jordan Wansink here, pole position for him in the Honda. A lot of experience on this track for Jordan, and shows off, and especially in the Honda, of course. And Samuel Falkenberg behind him in the Ferrari. Then in third we have Masachila with a really good qualifying performance, which puts him up into third position in the AM class. So very noteworthy there. Then right behind him Rojovic in the Lexus. Also a really good qualifying here for Peter Parnell, really feeling at home here on Bathurst. Then Vozarik in 6th. Layson in 7th in the Ferrari, two Ferraris close together. Michael Castro in 8th there in the Lexus. Liam Anderson with a bit of a disappointing qualifying session there. Could have really been about, I don't know, probably about a second faster. So shame for him, but he'll line up in 9th, and obviously a lot of time to make up there during the race. And in 10th we'll have Justin Dijkstra. Then we'll have Domi Persson, who's just fallen outside the top 10 here today. Adam Norton in 12th. De Knecht in 13th. Van Laar in 14th. Jav Prebil in 15th. Then Zanfresco in 16th. Ruhan Siliers, which I haven't featured yet, but Ruhan also a new driver here today, so making his debut today. And be interesting to see what he can do. Then we have one of the moderators here, one of the coordinators, Miguel Fonseca. Always turns up for a race, likes to have a lot of fun. And I think even last week we saw him pull out of the pits for a couple of laps and then just go back into the pit. So just here for the fun. Jake Davenport. So usually a bit further up, I think, but yeah, just will be interesting to see here how he manages today. And then Tom Bunty, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is one of our partners there, one of the people from our partners in the bottom left there, Grid Finder. I think he is affiliated with them and with us then, so interesting to see that he lines up here today as well in 20th. But let's go back up to the front here. Jordan Wansink, who will have Falkenberg starting right behind him. Field will now be bunching up, and then they will go to the allocated speed limit, and then we will be heading off. So everyone bunching up by pairs. So they'll come around the last corner here. You'll see them speed up a little bit to the speed limit, and we wait for the green lights. So, green light here today at Bathurst for the PCDC ACC League as Jordan Wansink heads up into turn 1. Looking clean so far. Take a bit of a look back. Everything looking somewhat decent. Someone spun out there. Ooh, big pit maneuver. Bit of a mess there at the back. But so far so good, I think. Couple of people there with some silly maneuvers into turn 1, but most of the field has made it through cleanly here. All looking good. And oh, the grid is gonna sort itself out now on the left there, so don't mind the standings for just a second. The game always takes a little while there to figure everything out. Should see here Jordan Wansink jumping up to the top here soon enough. There we go. That's the standing sorted out. Ooh, someone going off there. Simon Vozarik getting it all kinds of wrong. Did he manage to save it there? Oh, that right side is looking a bit messed up there, but let's see if we can get a replay. Sorry for the hang up. Again, we're using custom skins in the league, so this is just one of the ACC features, I guess, is that the replay is quite delayed. So let's see here, as we're heading through this really fast section. Bit of a... Oh, just wide on that curb, yeah. Oh no, that is gonna be... That must be heavy damage there for Fosaric. I mean, everything considered, he still managed to get his car in line for the S's, but I can't imagine that, I can't imagine him not having damage there. But all in all, well recovered from Fosaric. In the meanwhile here, Jordan Wansink, I mean, one lap and he is nearly 3 seconds ahead here. So, the experience really showing here. As we see in the background, there are a couple of people running wide. But yeah, already managed to gap there. And Michael Castro has Mats Liam Anderson behind him. Liam Anderson already moved up about 1 position there. So he'll be looking to fight it out here as Liam is looking hungry, but goes a bit wide there to turn 2. Peter Parnell is ahead of these guys. Peter Parnell dropped back 1 position, I believe, from the start, but hopefully he can pick up some pace during the race. Here, as well as we have Tom Bunty with Jake Davenport behind him and Miguel Fonseca in front of him. Except for a couple of starters there, most of our grid making it through cleanly. I think there was a big incident there between 2 or so cars, but most of them... Oh, as Jake Davenport there gets it a bit wrong through the S's, chooses to go for the... Well, I can't really call it an escape road, but escape zone, I guess. But yeah, Jordan Wansink at the front, really ramping up the pace now. And Peter Parnell here, up into 4th. I think, ooh, Lace on there. Must have made a mistake. Side by side now with Castro. But Peter Parnell puts up a good defense and holds on to the position right now, which does see Castro compromised by Mats Liam Anderson and Domi Persson right behind him. Oh, Castro with a bad exit there. Will allow Liam Anderson to make a move here, perhaps on the inside. He will try it. On the inside, he's still there. Castro gives him the room, but also nearly allows Persson through. Persson now under attack by Justin Dijkstra, who will be getting the better of him up the hill, I believe. And into turn 2 here, you really need that inside line. On the outside, there's no grip at all on the outside. It is off camber. And there's no rubber on it, so no way you can pull that through there. Nice little train going on here, though. Between those 4, and then behind them we have another little train going on here. MDK with Lukas Rojovic behind him. Rojovic, bit of a bad start from comparing to his other rounds, but has a lot of time to make that up, obviously. But yeah, Martin de Knecht here really under fire. It does seem that Martin de Knecht has made a bit of a mistake, as a lot of damage on that front end of Martin de Knecht there. Heading down this S section here. Down into Forest Elbow now. Let's go on board here with Rojovic to see. Ooh, also hits the wall there. A bad exit for Rojovic, but let's actually see if the Knecht now has a big deficit on the straight. And judging on the fact that Rojovic got a really bad exit, yeah, no chance for the Knecht. No chance at all. pulls ahead. Even with that bump on the wall, Rojovic managed to pull ahead there before the bend. So, yeah, a lot of damage there for Martijn, and that's not looking good at all. Meanwhile, we do have someone in the pit as well, Adam Norton, not looking good. But let's focus a bit more down here, because Mats Liam Anderson got past Michael Castro. Michael Castro did well to hold on at the start there, but now really starting to lose a bit of composure here. And some other drivers like Anderson and Persson starting to get a bit more into their stride, it seems. So yeah, Anderson really picking up the pace, 1.1 second up from his last lap already. So doing a good job here, but he's not yet out of the range of Castro and Persson there. Although he is creating that gap a little bit, while Domi Persson is looking to oh, big moment there from Michael Castro. Let's see. Hope he doesn't collect anyone there. Does a good job, just staying stationary. Ooh, near miss there. But all in all, does a decent job pulling out there, but big mistake. Let's see if we can see the replay. Man, oh man, that was a big one right there. So yeah, Castro feeling that pressure a little bit too much, I think, and yeah, just wasn't able to hang on to it. He goes to the fast right-hander, yeah, hits that inside curve, which is deadly, absolutely deadly. But all things considered, Justin Dijkstra doing a really good job there, and Michael Castro really patient, although that was a bit dangerous, but overall really patient in trying to get off the track for everyone. And that will see him end up in the pits here. So Lucian Zamfirescu now under fire from Jake Davenport. Man, for such a small grid, there's a lot going on. But Zamfirescu saying he was, you know, a bit disappointed with his qualifying. But for some reason his livery has changed, which I don't know if that's a bit of a mistake on the server's side here, because that looks like a mix of his two liveries that he had. But again, side by side with Jake Davenport as they'll head into turn 1, and we can really see the Lexus here on the straight stretching his legs. But again, that outside is not where you want to be, but he gets it done even before turn 2 there. So well done by Jake Davenport there. And now Zamfirescu really struggling here today, and we'll now see Fonseca moving up to him as well. Let's head back to the front here, as Jordan Wunsink has been able to create about a 5 or so second gap, looking really comfortable. And I mean, a lot of time left here for Jordan, but yeah, looking really comfortable and should be able to easily run away here today with the win if he just manages to keep it together. But Fonseca now. Really good exit from him, as Zamfirescu makes a little bit of a mistake. So yeah, Zamfirescu really struggling, and Fonseca looking to get the edge on him here. And with a smaller grid, all of these drivers are looking at obviously elevated positions, but Fonseca looking really good today, looking comfortable. He'll try and move up the inside, won't manage it, but forces Zamfirescu to make a mistake there. I don't know if it was an intentional outbraking move or that was just a correction. But yeah, Zamfirescu really feeling the pressure here. And Fonseca will be looking to take advantage of that one. Nothing so far. look here. Peter Parnell does have Mats Liam Anderson behind him, and Liam Anderson looking at a last lap 203.7 for Liam Anderson. The last lap for Parnell a 204.5. So Anderson really looking strong today here, and might be looking to actually overtake Parnell here, who is in 4th. Then obviously they have Vozarek in front, who is stuck behind the likes of, I want to say, Michael Castro. But a good exit there for Vozarek. Castro now moves out of the way, I think. Does so, and he's going to slot back in, I assume. But this does mean that Peter Parnell can use the slipstream of the car in front here, so Peter Parnell slowly closing up to Vozarek. And Vozarek really got the bad end of the deal there, being stuck behind a blue flagged car on the top of the hill. Gonna lose you a lot of time. But yeah, not even 15 minutes in, and we've seen a lot of action now, but a bit more of a train forming here, and I think Peter Parnell should be getting by Castro here on the straightaway. So yeah, Castro doing a good job yielding here. So good to see driving standard of Castro. Well, I believe it's Castro at least. No, that is not Castro. That is another Lexus. That will be Rojovic, perhaps? No, another Lexus. Then it must be Cilliers. Man, everyone running these default. Obviously, the Lexus doesn't have any other skins except for that. Well, obviously the one they ran with in real life. So there's no other skins than this one unless you make a custom one, and that is really messing me up a little bit, I must admit. But let's keep watching Parnell here as he's hunting down Vozarek in front of him. Parnell so far looking really consistent, and is about on a good lap about 4/4 faster than Vozarek, so Parnell really has a good shot at a podium here today. Won't be able to do anything so far, but definitely closing up here, Peter Parnell, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if we can catch the action soon enough. Liam Anderson now having I want to say, is that Lucas Rojovic? Nope, again I'm wrong. Oh, Domi Person, perhaps. Domi Person is about 4 seconds behind Liam. So yeah, everything a bit mixed up here with all those Lexuses, but yeah, Liam also second race in the league and performing really well here, looking at a top 5 finish so far. That being said, the drivers still have to do their mandatory pit stop, of course. This will be once there's 25 minutes done of the race. So with 35 minutes remaining, there will be the pit stop window opening. Pit stop window will be open for 10 minutes. Drivers will have to change out their tires, but can't take any fuel. And, well, the pit stops are very specific in ACC, so it is one of those things, if you get it wrong, you might see yourself lose a position over it, because that can easily lose you a couple of seconds. Now let's see actually With things quieting down a little bit, let's see if we can get an onboard here with the leader. And let's just enjoy the engine sound for a little bit. So that was a lap with the leader being Jordan Wansink. And again, just looking really comfortable out on track here, and I mean, has no direct competition anymore. I have seen that Falkenberg has also dropped out of the race, so must have made a big mistake at some point. And again, this track doesn't take any prisoners. It's ruthless, so one mistake and you're pretty much done for it. In the meanwhile, though, take a look here. Peter Parnell just got that move done on Vozarik and Liam Anderson right behind him as well. A three-way battle into turn 2 here. Surely they can't hold on the outside. Vozarik is actually gonna try. And they're still side by side as Vozarik is now... Ooh, bit of a tap there, I want to say, but Parnell does manage to keep it on the inside there. And Liam Anderson now all over Vozarik as well. So Parnell got by, hopefully with not too much damage by hitting that wall there. But yeah, Parnell in a podium position now, so really good to see from him today. Yeah, again, he is really at ease with the track and has a lot of experience on it, so... Oh, Liam Anderson there gets very loose. Into Forest Elbow, though. You can see two very differing lines between Vozarik there and Anderson. Anderson deciding to take a bit more of an approach from the outside. Takes a bit of a wider line in, while Vozarik chooses a more a line that's closer to the inside. Yeah, Anderson, oh, hits that curb there. Ooh, is gonna completely miss the corner there. But manages to recover it, so close call there from Anderson. And he's actually gonna smack the wall and rejoin again, so that is not the best rejoin there, as he could have avoided all damage, but now has messed up his front wing, I think. And now has Domi Person right behind him as well, and with a bit of damage. This might not look so good for Anderson. Yeah, Whippy, I think that one's on you. Yeah, I think there's no way around that. You totally caused that, so it's shame, but yeah. Anderson now trying to regain some composure. And will be looking to speed back up, but has lost quite a bit of time. I think about 8 seconds now, 8 seconds to Parnell. Oh yeah, big time loss there, and also that bit of damage won't help him. In the meanwhile though, Peter Parnell here, again, looking neat and tidy, slowly and surely pulling away from Vozarik here. And is now in 2nd place. I don't really know who dropped out in between here. But, yeah, really well done then. But Parnell in 2nd place, so we're looking really good here. A little fight going on here between Justin Dykstra and Jake Davenport. Those guys are still going at it. Dykstra again putting in a quite a good performance here, and Davenport right behind him. But yeah, overall, Justin has been looking really good, especially the past couple of races. He's really showed up. So that is also the reason why he's in the lead of the AM Championship, I believe. And yeah, one of those things. Jake Davenport is right behind him here in the Lexus. And should you not know it, the Lexus is, I think, one of the best cars on the straight, as Jake Davenport now actually gets alongside with Dykstra, even pulls in front of him here, as Dykstra makes a little bit of a mistake on 2-2. He just rode the curb a bit too hard there and lost traction. Yeah, what I was gonna say is that for Jake, it would have been only a matter of time if he lined up his car properly behind that McLaren. He would have been able to beat him on the back straight just purely on top speed, because the Lexus is so insanely good on top speed. Similar with the Honda. The Honda is also really good on top speed compared to the other cars. But yeah, Jake Davenport up into 6th position now. And might be slowly trying to creep his way up to Domi Person in front of him. But he's still about 14 seconds ahead. And we have now seen that the pit window has opened. So 10 minutes for our drivers to get their pit stop done. Again, taking tires and no fuel adding to the car. So everyone getting on a fresh pair of rubber boots, and with that lower fuel load, that's gonna probably bring out some faster lap times here, as we do see the likes of Peter Parnell, Liam Anderson, and Domi Person, 3 of them all heading into the pits. Yeah, Jake looking good here. And, yeah, slowly starting to build up his pace a little bit here. But, oh, So yeah, Voserick must have oh wow. And let's take another look at that one, because Voserick only just managing to keep together here. Let's see a bit of a cockpit view here, just to see how much counter steer you have to put in here. But let's see here as he goes over skyline into the S, as he gets a slap of oversteer and oh, again hits that curb. And again here, let's see. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man. That could have turned out a lot worse there. Oh. Weird camera there, but yeah, a bit of a tank slapper there for Voserick, and is now coming into the pit. Head back on board here with who want to do here? Peter Parnell, who now is behind Zamfedescu. Obviously, these guys in separate classes, and the speed gap also contributes there. But yeah, Parnell getting a way better run there out of the corner, and will be looking to lose least amount of time here behind Zamfedescu. And the hope for him is probably that Zamfedescu pulls into the hit this lap, but Zamfedescu is going to put up the fight, which obviously he is allowed to do so. Nothing against that, but Zamfedescu obviously still has to pit, so let's see if he pulls in here. He is going to pull in, and that will allow Parnell to get a clean run here. So Voserick coming out of the pit there, and I might have been mistaken, but I thought Voserick disappeared off of my radar there for a bit, and he didn't make his pit stop yet, so I don't quite know what happened there, but he is running in second, so that's why I was a bit confused by why Peter was in first there, but nevertheless, Voserick in second, I guess. And it's tricky now because the standings are a bit messed up now, but yeah, Parnell should be in a net third position. There we go, there's the update as he finishes up the first sector. But only about 7 seconds in it between Parnell and Voserick, so yeah, a bit of ground to make up here for Parnell, but definitely has a good chance of challenging for P2 here. Meanwhile, we have seen Domi Person here move up into fourth, and in the meanwhile, everyone has made their pit stop. Our leader now, Jordan, also coming into the pit. And except for Michael Castro, everyone has now made their pit stop. He's also gonna pull into the pit. So he'll be coming in here. Then we will see here. Jordan should be coming out here. There we go. Yeah, nowhere. No one near him, I think. He should be, yeah. Should be really quite a lot clear. I think he's probably about 30 seconds clear. Maybe even more. We'll see here as the standings update. You can see there Peter Parnell in the background. Now within 4 seconds of Voserick. Yeah, again, you can see there Parnell in the rear view mirror there of Voserick. Surely he'll be seeing him coming up. But to give you an idea, the best lap for Voserick was a 2:04.8, but he has had a lot of issue keeping up the consistency. And Peter Parnell's fastest lap was a 2:04.5, so 3/10 faster on the fastest lap, but I have been looking at it, and it does look like Peter Parnell is about half a second faster, at least, per lap on race pace. So he is he's definitely chewing at that gap, as we keep an eye on it in the next couple of laps. Let's see if he can actually fight for that second position, but I think it will be inevitable. And obviously a lot of people now are gonna be putting their fastest laps in, lower fuel load, new tires. The car should be feeling absolutely terrific now. And let's see if there is any big fights. It doesn't seem so. Most of the fights have somewhat petered out. But yeah, Peter Parnell now looking at about a 3/10 improvement over his previous best lap. So looking at a 2:04.2 at the moment, and that is a lot different than Simon Vozarik, because he is actually about half a second down on his best time. So that'll be almost a second gain there for Peter Parnell over the last lap. Yeah, so Parnell there, that was a little bit on board with him there, but yeah, looking really decent around the track. And is slowly, about half a second a lap there, gaining per lap. Excuse me, is gaining about half a second per lap on Vozarik in front. So it'll be interesting to see that battle develop. Here we do have a little bit of fight developing here, perhaps. Ooh, as Fonseca gets a really bad run out of forced elbow, and that'll see Rojovic pull alongside here. And the Aston Martin known to be a bit poor on the straights. So that will suffer. Yeah, you can just see there, suffer so much against its opposite ends really. The Aston's a bit down on top speed, while the Lexus is does really well on top speed. So yeah, big discrepancy there between the two cars. But that'll see Rojovic moving up into 9th. Since we have about 23 minutes to go, we can actually see there Wansink there in the background, coming up to lap these guys. So that means he's already coming up to P10 and P9 to lap, which means there will only be 8 cars remaining on the lead lap when he passes these guys. And let's also take a look a bit further back to some of the guys we feature a bit less. So to connect here, I think in a bit of his own world here, not really close to anyone, but just running his race here. And another debut here for Ruhan Tilliers. If I'm probably pronouncing his last name really badly, so if he wants to, he can let me know after the race how I meant to pronounce it. And then Adam Norton here, also not has had the best of times today, as that hood of him is looking pretty dodgy there. But at this point, I think he's just sticking in it to try and complete the race here. Same with Michael Castro, for instance. And it is, I mean, it is in some way pretty fun to see that some of the guys that are usually quite comfortable, like Castro, like Erosia, which struggle a little bit, you know, just shows that Bathurst is such a technical track and so difficult to get right that you can't just put anyone at the wheel and expect it to go good. You really need to put that practice in to be comfortable on Bathurst. I mean, that's hours of practice you need for this track to really start feeling comfortable. So much elevation changes, so many fast corners close to the walls. It is definitely a driver's track, I think. And you do see quite a bit of separation now with who has experience and is maybe a bit more patient than other drivers, you know. A lot of this race is just knowing that the race will come to you if you keep your car clean, so yeah, a lot of our drivers are doing that fairly well. And taking a look back here, Peter Parnell now finding it a bit harder here to catch up to Vozarik now. Vozarik has picked up the pace. Seems that maybe the Ferrari there on fresh tires and lower fuel might be handling a bit better here. So 20 minutes left for Parnell, so roughly 9-10 laps left for Parnell to try something and get up to that second position. Oh, Jordan Wansink now with damage. Seems to have made a mistake here. Lost 5 seconds this lap. 6 seconds, so a lot of damage on his car. He's about half a minute ahead, so I don't think that'll be enough damage to ooh, Fonseca in the background there with a big moment, big slap of oversteer as he comes off the curb there. But yeah, big top speed loss here for Jordan Wansink, but I don't think that'll see him lose his first position here. He should be able to hang on to it if he oh, I mean, that being said, just come through the first sector and he's lost 1.3 seconds, so I mean, we'll just follow him around here and see how much time he's losing at the end of it here, but if this keeps up, I mean, that might mean that Vozarik and Parnell have a chance of actually catching up at this rate. 2.6 seconds, 2.7 seconds. Might also be a fact that OneSync is managing here, but maybe just a bit uncomfortable at the moment. Let's see here on the straight as well. He's going to be down on top speed, so already 3 seconds down so far on his previous lap, or his best lap, I should say. So his time is just flowing away from here down the straight. Actually, what kind of lap time he puts in. Yeah, that lap at 2:06.2, so just under 2 seconds slower now than the guys Vozarek and Parnell behind him, which should technically see him get to the end without them catching him, but obviously with damage like that, it's gonna be trickier for him to keep it together, so let's hope he can and see out this race victory. Good thing that he had such a big buffer when that happened, because that could have been a lot worse. No, Whippy. Unfortunately, no chance of a replay. The broadcasting tool, unfortunately, only allows me to select certain clips or certain periods of time, so I can only go back, let's say I can go back 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, but I can't actually actively select where they go on the replay, so unfortunately I have to catch it right in the act unless I have someone else. And a big downside as well to the replay system at the moment is that we need once you start a replay, you can't cancel it. So let's say I start a minute playback and nothing happens, there's no way for me to cancel that, so it would just be a minute of looking at nothing pretty much. So yeah. Mr. Goebel, it's been very quiet up front. There is no real fighting going on. I think a lot of the front runners, at least who qualify near the front, pulled out already, so a lot of people with damage and decided to retire. The only likeliness now is that OneSync has suffered a bit of damage here, so he is losing a considerable amount of time, but if he manages it, he should be able to consolidate a little bit on his laps, and he should be able to bring it home. But the closest fight that we probably will see here is going to be between these two here, Vozarek, and behind him there, Peter Parnell. Battle for second. Parnell has been steadily closing up to Vozarek here, with Vozarek sometimes matching pace, but yeah, about 2 second gap here between Parnell. Last lap for Vozarek must have again made a mistake, but was a 2:05.7, while Peter Parnell was a 2:04.1, and Parnell has been hovering a lot around those low 2:04s nearly all race, so consistency wise Parnell is looking better at the moment, but obviously he still has to make that overtake if he can get close enough. Yeah, Mr. Goebel, seems a lot of people have had issues. We started with 20 cars and we're down to 16, so... Oh, as Fonseca is there with a little bit of mistake again. But, yeah, a lot of people aren't really used to Bathurst, and it is one of those tracks which does require a significant amount more time to learn and to really, well, master, you could say, but to even just get at a decent level at it, you have to put a lot of time in at Bathurst to really start feeling comfortable on that downhill section with the S section and all that. The big braking zones on this track, it's a very difficult track, but again, if you put the practice in, it's really worth it. But you can see Peter Parnell just inching closer every lap here. So you can see now within 2 seconds here for Peter Parnell. And so Vozarek again, about 7/10 down on his best lap, and Parnell just picking up that pace, I think. Looking at a mid 204, while Vozarek is looking at a 205 almost. Keep following this battle around here because it does look like this is the only real battle that's going on here. So I think it's just the most interesting to keep the camera on these two cars here. Parnell getting a way better run there. Sorry, getting a way better run there through the cutting, and very close to the wall there. But definitely gaining time on Vozarek here. And now we will see if Vozarek can put up a decent defense here. Let's see if he can keep his composure up and not be pressured here by Parnell. Yeah, Whip, it's always good to have a co-commentator, especially for endurance races. That would be, that's always really appreciated, to have someone to bounce off a little bit. Sprint races are fine to do on my own, but the enduros can really use a co-commentator, so yeah, that'd be good. Bit of a hop on the curb there from Vozarek. Lost a little bit of time there. But yeah, again, Parnell just about consistently 3/4 tenths faster here than Vozarek. He is obviously within that dirty air region now, within that second and a half. But At the rate Parnell has been closing up, that shouldn't be an issue for him. He's also gonna get, of course, the slipstream down the back straights, and Ferrari, although it's good on acceleration, its top speed isn't the greatest either. Yeah, Parnell just looking really comfortable now. With 8 minutes to go here, this battle is gonna unfold very soon here. Again, you can see there a big difference there in speed, comparing Vosadic and Parnell there through the cutting. You see, Peter Parnell can just carry a lot more speed through there, and as a result, your whole sector here, your whole middle sector, is going to be way faster just by that exit. Down into the S's. Really closing up now. If he gets a good run through Forest Elbow, this might be a shot at second position here. Falls like a tiny tap on the wall there. Both of them with a really good exit. Not going to be close enough this time around, I think, for Parnell. But looking really solid here. Slowly but surely closing up to the back of Vosadic here. Just showing his nose a little bit there to the outside of Vosadic, trying to intimidate him a little bit. Ooh, runs a tiny bit wide. Showing the nose again there, Peter Parnell. Trying to mentally influence Vosadic here a little bit. Keep showing his nose here, and Vosadic will surely be looking in his rear mirror by now. And again, that speed difference through the cutting shows Parnell now almost right on the back of Vosadic here. Through the S section. Down to the Forest Elbow. Good exit there from Parnell, I think. Bit closer this time around. Has a bit of momentum going for him, but I don't think he's close enough to try and move here. Well, he might be actually. Here he's again gonna show his nose. Vosadic so far doing a good job keeping it together, though a little bit of a hop on the curb, but doesn't seem to bother him too much. So 4 minutes and 40 to go, which will be 3 more laps. 3 more laps for Parnell to try something here. Vosadic so far, though, doing a good job holding him off. Keeping his composure, concentration. Again, like I mentioned, once you get inside of that dirty air zone, where the aero really starts working against you, that's where Parnell is now, and tricky to get out. I've also noticed on ACC it's really hard to get a good run out of Forest Elbow if you're behind another car, unless you're significantly faster than him. It is very tricky. But these two just keep going at it here. Another fight we might have to keep an eye on is the fight behind this one, which is between Domi Person and Jake Davenport. They're also within a second of each other now. But Parnell really close this time in the S section. Down to Forest Elbow we go again. And we'll see here. And a slightly tighter line there from Peter Parnell. Bit of a slide there. He has a compromises run out of the corner. It does seem so. So far, so good for Vozarik. Holding on. But Parnell just hounding him. Looking just for any type of mistake from Vozarik to capitalize on. And through the cutting here, really good speed from Parnell. But Vozarik here really pulling out the stops here, but what I have noticed is that the pace has gone down for Peter Parnell, so he's now in the 2:05 range, which he was comfortably, actually, comfortably below before he caught up to Vozarik, so might be a little timid here as he gets a good exit again. This must be it now. Gotten a good run, he's closing in. He can try this move up into the braking zone. This must be it. One more lap after this one. Gonna try it up the inside, shows the nose, he's there. Oh no! Mistake from Parnell there, hits the curb on the inside, and that'll see the battle done. Really unfortunate for Parnell. They worked so hard to get up to the back of Vozarik, and then one single mistake there and the battle is over. And I thought we were gonna see a battle between Davenport and Person here, but that has seemed to petered out. So close off the race. We'll just get on board here with Jordan Wansink, who has managed to keep his car together for the remainder of the race. And has actually sped up a little bit towards the end here, so a bit more comfortable again in his damaged Honda, and he is gonna comfortably close out the race here. Yeah, Whip, the Bentley isn't great on top speed either. It's actually quite poor on a lot of tracks. And not inherently because of the car, I think, but because of the BOP. It gets a lot of BOP done engine-wise, because it's like really comfortable and stable and actually really fast on top of the hill. But on top speed, the Bentley loses a lot. Same for like on Paul Ricard, the Bentley loses a lot on BOP. But Jordan Wansink here, coming across the line in his battered Honda. and will be victorious today. In second place here, gonna be Simon Vozarik. He'll be really happy with that one. But yeah. Good job holding on to that second place from Simon here today. Done a really good job. And then Peter Parnell there with a podium. So I think first podium here on the ACC League for him. And obviously very happy as he's shaking the wheel around there. Meanwhile, Domi Person has come across the line in fourth. Liam Anderson now, 5th position. Also very well done from him. I mean, anyone that finishes the race has pretty much done a good job. But in the meanwhile, we've seen Rojovic and Cilliers also finish. And we now see Dijkstra and I think it is Castro coming up to the line here. But overall, very well done from our guys here that have finished the race. And just shows that, you know, your crawly lap isn't everything. But yeah, Martin de Knechter in front of Dijkstra, both of them finishing. And one more finisher here. 2 more finishers actually, Castro and Van Laar. Will be coming across the line now, so only 12 finishers today, which is quite poor, but it is what it is, and good job for anyone that actually finished the race. Very well done there. Still think, oh, we actually had more people who were supposed to finish, but likes of Davenport, Zamfrescu, and Norton seem to have finished. So yeah, that was it today. I think we'll see if we can get anyone in for a bit of commentary here today. Let's see here. Get our winner in first. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I was nervous as fuck, and it was in the first stint very difficult to stay focused actually, because I didn't want to push too hard and like put it into the wall. So I was slow, but yeah, and that caused me to make mistakes. And then the second stint, I actually did make a mistake, and I had over a minute of damage. But I was like, if I want to win, then I have to take the chance to continue without repairing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say your Honda at the end wasn't looking no. So good anymore.
I did not know how I finished it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of attrition today. I think in the end we saw 12 cars finish out of the 20, so
yeah.
And a lot of them actually dropping out pretty early, so I mean, practicing, I think, just being used to the track, and obviously as we've done with endurances, does help a lot, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, great result, and that'll, if I'm not mistaken, put you in the lead of the championship, so have a lot to fight for.
Yeah, for one race.
Which is, I mean, it's gonna be pretty close, you know. It's I don't quite remember how many points you were on, but I think you might need like a second or third place next time around to challenge. If Erbrich and Lawrence come back, then
yeah,
that's gonna be exciting to see anyway. But anyway, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Now let's see here. Does Parnell? Let's see here if we can get him in. Yo.
Yay! Hi. How you doing, Husky?
How's it going?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, my dream has been fulfilled. Paid all my Bathurst.
Oh, jeez.
I can retire.
Parney, what mic are you using?
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's like very there's a lot of noise on it. But
Maybe let me. Noise suppression is on. Maybe I need to be a bit further away. Is it better now?
a little bit, but it's fine. You're understandable. So I mean, really good race there. Up until the end, you were challenging for second position there, but then just a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I thought I've got a chance to take him, and I sort of had the overlap just about, but then I kind of, yeah, there wasn't enough there, do you know. I didn't want to sort of, back of my mind was thinking I can still finish quite well, you know, I don't want to completely mess it up. So I'd say we were about the same pace, me and Simon. There wasn't a lot in it really.
Yeah, from what I could tell, it was basically
was-
you were slightly more consistent than him on pace.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, it was pretty much. But it was really, really difficult to eat away at his lap. You know, his lap times were consistent for quite a while, so I was sort of gradually picking away at him. But do you know what? I'm sort of mad that I didn't get second, but to finish at the podium, I'm well chuffed. You know, I've always third time lucky. I've always wanted to do well at Bathurst. I know that two guys or two or three, you know, aliens are not here this week, but I'm still pleased with it. It's still really good. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
regardless, I was talking about it as well. Obviously, Bathurst is a track where you're like, I want to say you're pretty comfortable, right? You have a lot of experience with it. So.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a one-trick pony, but but I just had, like everyone, I rode my luck. There was a bit of a crash. I managed to avoid it. I think a couple of times I had moments where that could have been the end. And actually, Simon had a bit of a moment, and I think I managed to sort of keep things, you know, going. But no, I couldn't ask for more. It's brilliant. Really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it back. Hopefully, you gave me some good airtime, Husky.
Oh yeah, pretty much like the last, I think 15 minutes were all yours. So
Yeah, I mean, Jordan was so far ahead. There probably wasn't not a lot to show.
no, I think I've shown an onboard with him, and that was about it.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, if I could do that every week, that'd be great. But unfortunately, that's not the case. But
anyway, really well done, and we'll see you next week, I guess.
yeah, cheers. See ya.
Yep. All right, with that all being said, I think that'll be our interviews for today. It was a quite an entertaining race to watch, even though we had a smaller grid today. Again, if anyone wants to join these races, feel free to visit our website at pcdc.simstrata.com. And thank you to our partners GridFinder and Simstrata. You can see them in the bottom left and the top right. Be sure to check them out as well. And with that being said, next week we'll be heading to Kyalami for a 90-minute endurance race to close the season off. The standings are really close for the Pro Championship and the AM Championship, and I mean pretty much any championship. So that'll be really interesting to see. I've been your host, Senna Stuffmail. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you next week for 90 minutes at Kyalami. Goodbye.